Hi, my name is MISHELL MENESES, and today I am going to talk about Unit 11 and 12. The contents are minimal pairs, what is phonology, complementary distribution, free variation, and distinctive features of phonemes. Minimal pairs are pairs of words that differ only in one sound or morpheme. These pairs are useful for understanding how the sounds of a language affect the meaning of the words. They are classified between consonant sounds and vowel sounds. Among the most common minimal pairs of consonant sounds, we have P versus V, for example, pig and vig. F versus th, for example, free and three. F versus v, for example, fan and van. V and v, for example, they and they. Ch and sh, for example, choose and shoes. Among the most common vowel sounds, we have I and E, for example, sheep and sheep. A versus A, for example, sail and sail. A versus for example, cat and coot. A versus for example, vake and vac. E versus air, for example, cheer and chair. Practicing minimal pairs will help you express yourself better in English. Now, what is phonology? Phonology is the study of speech sounds and how they are organized and used within a language. For example, the words pat and bat differ by only one sound, P and B. The small difference in sound changes the meaning of the word, which means P and V are different phonemes. Phonology helps us understand those differences. Complementary distribution. Complementary distribution occurs when two variants of sounds or allophones appear in different contexts, so that one never appears where the other appears. So why is this important? Because it helps us understand how the sounds of a language work, also identify allophones, and learn more natural pronunciation. For example, in the word pet, P occurs as the one set of a stressed syllable. In this case, occurs at the beginning of the word. But in the word map, P occurs elsewhere, in this case at the end. And spin, in this word, P occurs in the middle of the word. In English, P and P are complementary distribution. Now, what is free variation? Occurs when two or more sounds can used in the same context without changing the meaning of the word. For example, in the word neither. In US, it could be pronounced like neither, but in United Kingdom, the same word can be pronounced as neither. In other words, free variation refers to a different pronunciation of a word. Means the same, but the little difference is the pronunciation. Finally, distinctive features of phonemes are the smallest unit of sounds that can distinguish one phoneme from another. It also depends of how and when it's the morpheme articulated. In other words, it could be voicing, that is whether or not the vocal cords vibrate during the speech pronunciation, and it could be voice and voiceless. For example, the phonemes Z and V are voiced because the vocal cords vibrate during speech pronunciation, but in morphemes S and F are voiceless because vocal cords doesn't vibrate during the speech production. Another feature is the manner of articulation, that is the type of closure or narrowing at the point of the articulation. There are 6 kinds of manner of articulation that are plosive, nasal, fricative, affricative, lateral, and approximate. Finally, the place of articulation is where the major constriction of the vocal passage occurs. In this case, we have dental, labiodental, bilabial, alveolar, postalveolar, palatal, velar, and glottal. In conclusion, understanding the basics of phonology is essential for analyzing how language sounds work and differ. Mastering these topics improves our pronunciation, listening skills, and overall language awareness. Thank you.